Hello everyone, Mark here at Stunning Modelrailroad with another video for you. Today's video is all about the replacement river stream. As you may or not know, but you should have your regular view of this channel, I replaced the middle board here with a new board because I moved the turntable what was on here, on the old board, to that board which is currently resting up there, so I'd have more space on this board. So I've obviously had to reconstruct the river stream because it's a different shape, and it, as I must admit, it does look better. The track layout is basically the same, but yeah, the river stream is totally different shape. So today's video is all about how I went building the replacement one. So without further ado, we'll go into the video and I'll see you at the end. So moving on again, as you can see, I've now cut out the shape here for the river. Originally I cut it out using me jigsaw and I used it straight up, so that was 90-degree angle. I wasn't quite happy with that, so I've adjusted it by changing my circle saw to 45 degrees and cut each side at 45 degrees. That's the wood obviously on the top there, which gives a better angle. As you can see, the shape is not straight. So now Alan from Button Junction doesn't like straight, and I've not kept it straight. It's got a curve to it. Hopefully it's coming out of the light. The light's a bit funny today. But you can see it fits in. It gives me plenty of room now either side to fit stuff. Flows nicely. Now on the bottom, what I've done, the bottom is actually just some 9mm ply. I had what I've used spare from the baseboards cut off, so I've cut that to rough shape. Obviously I've cut out the framework, I've got to go over that, but I've cut the framework out both sides to accommodate. And then the green stuff here is extruded polystyrene foam underlay, which I got from B&Q. I'll just show you that. You get it in great big pack. I brought 2 packs, and I wasn't going to use them all because I was obviously using the sage foam, but I decided for this I might go back to this because it's better shape. So they're 5mm thick, so they seem to fit in there quite nicely. Yes, it's a bit steep, and I'm going to have to reshape it, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to glue these together with a hot melt glue gun. Just, like spot glue them together so they don't melt the polystyrene too much, and then I'm going to go and see if I can shape them a bit better, and that should give me an embankment shape. And then once I've finished that, I will probably go over it with the Woodland Scenics shaper sheet and plaster cloth so it's all sealed, and then it'll be ready for painting up. But we'll see what happens. Okay, so as you've just seen, I've been carving away at the foam, and I've managed to shape it a bit more now. For that I used a Woodland Scenics foam knife and a short stainless surf on to try and even it up a bit and make it a bit smoother. It's not entirely smooth, but then as it's a riverbank it wouldn't be anyway, but it's a much more better shape now, so I'll just come down to there just so you can get a better idea. And so unfortunately it's probably a bit steep really on this side. On the way down this side's not so bad, but I think it looks pretty good overall. And you're going to have some natural lumps and bumps in the river embankment anyway, plus one side might have eroded slightly more than the other. So I think that looks pretty good. So I think the next stage now is to use some Woodland Scenics shaper sheet. And what I'll do with that, I shall just cut it to obviously the length, and then I shall push it into the sides and flat onto the bottom, and I'll probably curve this end up. I was going to use some plaster cloth or mod rock, if you want to call it that, and go over it after I stuck obviously the embankments down, but I've decided that I'm going to use the shaper sheet. If I do that, I should be able to cut it in one piece, and it should then, hopefully, fingers crossed and touch wood, it should stop any leaks, because obviously last time, if you remember, if you watched my previous videos and the last time I done the river, I had a leak of the resin. Hopefully by doing it this way it'll be one piece and it will stop it going out. The reason for doing the folding up at this end is obviously by the time the vaccine balls across there, it's going to be pretty dull and you won't see much of that anyway. So if I just do the showing straight up, it should, then it will save it going at the back. Although I'll probably take this all out and do it elsewhere so it's flat and then put it in so I've got more room to control the pour rather than do it in here like I did last time. But then again, it depends on what I do for the bridges, because I haven't decided what bridges I'm going to have. And if I'm going to have brick bridges, then I need to sort of build them in first so the water can go up against them. But I think for now I'll just shape a sheet them and then get back to you once I've made more of the decision on what I'm doing after that. Okay, so as you can see, we're over 24 hours now, probably about a day and a half later, and the plaster is all dried. Come out quite smooth, fairly well. It is slightly probably lumpy and rough in a couple of places. That's probably because the Woodland Scenics shape sheet plaster I had been a bit older, and I like been sitting in a storage tub. It was in like a Tetra Pak cardboard box, and I don't think it really kept it well. And also I ran out of it, so luckily enough I had some much newer World Scenics smooth plaster in stock, so that's that one there. So on the back, yeah. So I had some of that to finish off. As I say, this is in a plastic container, and obviously it was in my storage box, and it's probably lasted a lot longer. And I bought it. It's much newer than the Woodland Scenic stuff. I bought it more recently. And I'm going to show you the top, and also can either come out and spoon for holes like that. And it actually does give a smoother finish. You can see, I don't know if the camera pick up, but there's a bit smoother on there, and there's a bit there. But yeah, I went over it again, so I'm pretty much happy with how that's turned out. So what I'm going to do now is I will start the painting process, because obviously it will need some different browns on it, and then I'll start putting some ground coverage on it, and I'll get back to you when I've done that. Okay, so here we are. This is now the almost completed river. I say almost completed because obviously I've still got to do the resin pour, and I probably need to add a few more bushes here and there possibly, but the majority of it is done for now. And as you can see, I think it looks a lot better. Well, I say a lot better, but I think it looks better than the old river. Sorry if the camera silhouette involved is quite bright, because currently at the time filming, it's a very bright day and a very hot day, probably the hottest day of the year so far. But yeah, anyway, so I'll give you just a view down here so you can get a level. Obviously you can see the gap up the back there. By the time the back seam board's on, you probably won't see that, and the light will probably come out, or if you do, it'll be quite dark, so I doubt you'll see much of that anyway. But that's the view looking down the river straight stream there. As I say, it's not got loads of detail in, it's probably got slightly less than the other, but I thought the rocks were, so the big ones didn't really suit it last time, so I thought I'd just put a few small ones in, randomly placed. I hope they look like they're randomly placed. But yeah, I'm quite pleased overall with the look. So I'm going to leave this here, and I'll get back to detail and put a bit more detail probably in another video, because I want to get the board back down and the back seam back on, so I can put the other board back up and get the track back on, and then start, do it the last couple of weeks. I want to start being able to run trains again. Well, I do hope you found that video of some interest, and hopefully you even enjoyed it. Let's say I'm no expert, so there is more than one way to construct a river stroke stream and what I've done, but I thought we'd give you an insight into why I've done it. I think it's a better method for me personally this time, and the river stroke stream seems to have come out a lot better. I'm happy. I'm definitely happy with it. There's probably some more fine detailing I've got to do to it, but as I alluded to at the end of the video there, I really want to get the baseball top screwed back down on that board, and the back seam boards onto it, so I can then put the board there back up, and I can have a complete layout, because I need to finish off a couple bits of wiring and run trains again. So yeah, so I hope you found something useful. Obviously any comments are always welcome, and if you've got any suggestions, by all means go ahead, and obviously constructive criticism as well, as long as it's constructive. And obviously if you did like the video and you haven't already subscribed to the channel, please consider subscribing for some more. And if you did like the video about some music, please hit the little thumbs up button for me. And until next time, I'll say bye for now. Bye all.